let's explore Unsure and 8 other spiritual poems. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. Today's first poem, Unsure. While searching for a place to dwell, I met with a Zen Roshi whose cat was very friendly and hungry for affection. After a few moments of my petting and his purring, the Roshi exclaimed, "You are such a slut." After all these years, I am still uncertain as to whom he was addressing, that cat or myself. Today's second poem, Evolution. As a little boy, mother taught me that the word lady was a respectful means of referring to women. Later, one of my Torah school teachers insisted love is a verb, and so treating others with respect was just another way to make others feel loved and valued and important. But do not be overly impressed by that, for all that behavior infers is that I am merely a fully functional mammal, whose mirror neurons and empathy center are simply functioning as evolution has selected. Today's third poem, Multiply. Sometimes our lot in life could be stressful, whether it is recalled, experienced, or anticipated. Buddha taught that the simple act of being in resistance to our lot, physically or emotionally or intellectually, could serve to multiply our stress like bunnies in the springtime, or like clones on planet Camino. Today's fourth poem, Poodle. None of us know everything about everything. Could we feel comfortable in our ignorance? It could be good to allow the border of our knowledge to expand. But could we ever find ourselves interrupting others and demanding explanations? Sometimes that could be symptomatic of a thirst for knowledge. Yes, sometimes, but not always. Sometimes a request for information, no less a demand, is not a request for information, but as much as it is a quest for control. Control over people and control over situations. Let us not be content to squander our short lives acting like yappy little poodles, forever striving to assert our dominance by metaphorically humping the shins of others. For to do so is to indulge our Sith potential and to live as slaves to our brain stem, forever tethered to the cycle of stress. Today's fifth poem, Unfold. Attend the first of 16 meditation classes. Set a time to practice for 5 minutes every morning and an additional 5 minutes every evening. Then suit up, show up, sit down, and watch your journey unfold. Today's sixth poem, Purification. If we are very fortunate, there could come some moments where our errors are pointed out and better ways of doing things revealed. Those insights could come from within or outside, be intuitive, analytical, etheric, or corporeal. Our energy is far too finite. Let us not squander it in defensiveness, but rather invest it in continued evolution. A fundamentalist of patriarchy could tell us of the 4 powers of purification. The first power as support, which is the entity, real or imagined, to whom we confess our shortcomings. The second power as regret, for the harm done to others and to oneself. The third power as antidote, physically bowing, verbally chanting, and mentally praying. And the fourth power as the resolve to err no more. However, as a liberal of matriarchy, I would remind you of a simpler, more effective method. First, be vulnerable to being shown a better way of doing things. Second, passively notice what we are shown in harmony with our inhalation. Third, let go by relaxing as best you can as you recite the Mani Mantra while exhaling. Fourth, rather than retreating into scattered contrivance, persist with centered spontaneity. For the more vulnerable we are to the consequences of our centered spontaneity, and the more we relax into the chanting of the Mani Mantra, the more rapidly we could evolve, like Rey, who bested Kylo her very first try. Today's 7th poem, Best Devotion. Our habitual, fearful, and greedy self-centeredness tethers us to the cycle of stress. Far wiser it could be to rely on nurturing love for living beings. And towards all Buddhas, real or imagined, the best way to express our devotion is not through the whining of prayers or the folly of ritual, but by enthusiastically applying their teachings. Their teachings of mindfulness, passive, vulnerable, and non-conceptual. Their teachings of insight, relaxing, releasing, and flowing. Their teachings of compassion, centered, spontaneous, and uncontrived. For the ultimate generosity is to walk in the compassion of centered spontaneity that is cultivated by blending noticing and letting go with the chanting of the 6-syllable mantra. Today's 8th poem, As If Drunk. I daily see Storm, the aging golden retriever, taking his pet human Nanette for her morning walk. Storm is more aloof than affectionate. But Nala, his new little sister, is all love and enthusiasm. And when she spies me during her morning walk, she pulls her leash with such enthusiasm as to make her pet human Nanette stagger as if drunk. The iciness of Storm's aloof heart is melted by jealousy's fires. For as he watches a puppy Nala slather me with kisses and with cuddles, he nuzzles in as if to say, I saw him first. This one is mine. All mammals have similar midbrains and similar emotions. A human is a dog, is a cow, is a pig. May we treat all beings with compassion and respect. Today's 9th and final poem, Emulate. Is your llama a good teacher? How could you know? Resume and reputation be damned. All that matters are the results you generate by applying his teachings twice daily. If teacher's instructions when applied are beneficial, then, like Buddha, teacher is guiding you with his example and with his words. But unlike the Buddhas of yore, teacher has not been swallowed up by the sands of time, but is present in your life, entertaining your questions and guiding you in his compassion. For like the archetype of the Buddha of enlightened compassion, whose example of mindfulness, insight, and love you emulate. Lama too has mastered those self-same qualities as to practice them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. And, like a good parent, your kind teacher desires neither your praise nor worship, but merely your enthusiastic application of his teachings. Let us conclude with a simple call to action. This podcast will never have any advertisements, so support us monthly on PayPal and like us on your podcast service to help others find us just as you found us as well. If meditation has felt impossible, boring, or just out of reach, you are welcome to register at buddhajoy.org for the next series of live online meditation class webinars that meet once a week.